Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Riven. This is a complicated game, so I've come up with this little graphic here to just show what we're doing and what kind of progress we're making. We found 4 goals so far. We need to retrieve the stolen book that was taken from us in the first episode by the guy that's outside that cage. To do that, we need to find the moiety, as Catherine says they have the book. Then we need to find Gen and convince him to link into that trap book and get stuck. And then we have to rescue Catherine. And then we signal Atris. To rescue Catherine, we need to get the combination to the elevator. And to convince Gen, we need to actually, find Gen. So those are our goals. And that is what we have to do. So let's go back to the game and figure out where we go from here. So if we hit continue, this takes us back right where we were, which is a nice thing about this particular game, is that the it remembers your last save spot and starts up, and we'll start you up there without having to go to load. Alright, so we just got off the minecart onto this island, and there's the call button. There's a handbrake that we don't actually get to use, or that maybe that's the dump lever. But let's go down this ladder. And we have this curious building here. Looks like a natural gas fire in a burner mechanism of some sort. And there's a pipe under it. And a hose going into the water. And that looks like some sort of mechanism for sucking water into this device. There's some other pipes and stuff, and that feeds it from somewhere. So there's this thing out in the middle of the lake, and it does appear that we are in the crater of a volcano. Given how stable the rest of this island seems to be, I don't know if I want to be on a volcano. And this is your traditional puzzle of Myst and Myst-like games, is you only have a certain amount of power. You have to direct it to where you want to go next. So if we put the lever facing this pipe, we turn off whatever is up that way, and we're now feeding the chipper shredder. So let's go play with dangerous toys here. It's my favorite thing to do. So that pipe hose connects into this large motor thing. And I keep trying to run things from too far away. And this lever here, nope, that's the ladder. I feel like I'm playing Infra again with all these toys I don't understand how to use. Does not help us in any way, because we don't have any lumber, and if we did, we wouldn't know what to do with it. But I have a feeling that we're going to need to interact with this boiler in our next step. So let's plumb that in. Because if we weren't supposed to interact with it, why would it be here? I guess it could be like the shredder. It's there to make the environment make sense. This goes up here beside this ladder. which has a door at the top of it, and you can't actually open it. So we're going to go back down and come up with an alternative route in there, which seems like it's going to have to be through this boiler, which is just weird. Okay. So if we go up here, this looks like a gas well, natural gas well. And if we hit this thing, we turn off the flame, and we ignite the burn off, so we don't get a dangerous buildup of natural gas or unnatural gas. And the steam power or whatever comes from the middle of the lake and hits this splitter valve here. It's currently set to follow this pipe here, which drives the looks like the water pump. So if we open this, we're not bringing water into the pipe anymore, and it's allowed to drain. Turn that, and we can now access this control here if we get close enough to it. And that raises a platform. And we can see that the pipe that the water the gas takes, or steam or whatever that is, follows this into that control mechanism. And that's how you can figure this out. The door automatically opens if it's cool enough in there, and I can't believe that if this is boiling water a few seconds ago, that it's cool enough to walk in by now. That would be uncomfortable. We go down here, and here's the other end of that pipe, that grating that we saw. If we follow to the far end of the pipe, and there's a path. And once again, we only have this little path that we can follow. We can't just walk anywhere along the edge of this. Granted, we are climbing, so I will give them that, but still feels more confining than it could have been. Open that up, and that lets us take a shortcut so we can go up that ladder we were on earlier. And in fact, knowing how these games work, we're going to want this gas or steam or whatever that is back where it started as we enter this section of the game. And we could even probably restart the boiler. But, you know, if there's wood chips over here and there's boiling water over here, this might be how Gen is making linking books. And do we really want Gen making linking books, or do you want to interfere with that as much as possible? Let's leave it off, because I don't think we really want I don't think we really want Gen making linking books if he's able to get out of here. That sounds like if Gen is really like Atris says he is, we don't really want him succeeding in his goals. Alright. Most infamous room in Riven continues its tradition, but we will come back to that here in a few minutes. Actually, no, I just want to do this now before I forget. There's the gas pipe or steam pipe, whatever, coming in the window. No, that's a different pipe. That's a drain pipe from a pump. Okay. I mentioned in Infra, when we were in the sewer system, that there is a door hidden behind another door when it's open, and I said that's the throwback to a reference to Riven or poor architecture design. You close this door, and you get two more directions you can go. There's this staircase here, and this took us forever to find in the first game. In the old version of this, the first time we played it, it was not obvious because we had this fear of doors closing behind us. We get stuck. We are used to Sierra games, which would lock the door behind you, and used to Doom, which has done that in the past. Duke Nukem 3D, that kind of thing. But we do the same thing here, and there's another hidden door and another one of these things. So let's go ahead and do the marble thing. Actually, I don't even know what the right combination is. Can we find out? Aha! There's a marking on it in invisible ink. So all I have to do here hope I can't do it from here. Yep, I can see it from there, but I can't hit the button from there. I think this is vertical line. Yep. So we'll just go ahead and do the marble thing here and extend the gate. Extend the, we'll just do part of this puzzle here. Putting OBS on the other display so maybe I can see the mute button better. So I'm looking at the wrong place to find the record time. And my graphics card is doing something weird with the lighting down there. Whatever. Alright, nothing happens because that's pointing the wrong direction. So we're going to spin this, hit the call button. And once that thing points in the correct direction, and when we extended it, the lights started flashing. So now it's lined up and the lights are steady. And we still don't know what we're doing with this thing. I think we might find out soon. Maybe that spinning thing creates the gravity in the starry expanse to avoid the star fissure. Maybe that's what those spinning domes are for, is gravity, artificial gravity. Maybe not. Who knows? Alright, we continue down this path here. We're on this walkway we saw earlier. In the original game, there's a switch about halfway between that door and this next one that you need to trigger to operate something later. Here we just have a locked door. Almost like we're not welcome here. We go this direction. And that was weird. Okay. Will the rest of the bridge appear? No. The thing I heard about this, I don't know how accurate it is, I think I heard it from Dylan Dow 3000, watching his Let's Play, is that with this being a fully 3D rendered game in real time, you'd actually have to walk all the way across that, as opposed to just having 5 or 6 clicks to get across the thing. You actually have to walk all the way across it. And they thought that would be too far. Every other way of getting back to Big Dome Island there, you either have to go that maglev to that island, or you take the minecart back there, and then or go from that island to Jungle Island and then back to the maglev, or go through the domes and that 3D alignment puzzle. And I wish they would have left the bridge, honestly. It would have been a lot faster. Because right now there's no good way to go there. We don't have to do that very often. But let's go this direction and see if there's maybe a back way in through that locked door that we need to figure out. And we come down here. There's that hose that goes out the window. And we have a pipe along the ceiling. And I should point out that these are not electric light fixtures. These are Dunny fire marbles, which we will learn more about here in a moment. And we are pumping water out of this thing, and much faster than you would expect that hose to be able to handle. Just from the volume, it looks like it's having to move. And this music sounds a lot like Abduction, and this looks like interactive. But let's go this way and see what's at the end of this. Okay, I think we're going to need that cart, and I think we need to figure out what the other stuff over here is. Should that have disappeared, or is that another glitch? Only apparently neither one. Sorry, smack the microphone again. And it wants to stop here. Don't want to go that way. But if you forgot to get the round thing there, you could go back. And it wants to stop here. So let's turn this dial and see what this does. It's an elevator without a floor, but the cart slides in and becomes the floor. How thrifty? Then there's this lever here that locks the cart into the elevator and makes that control drive the lift. There's an achievement you can get if you watch this thing polish for like 15 minutes or something. I've not got that achievement yet because it's not something you can just set and forget. This thing seems to be making noise. It's a little frog thing. And it just jumped down the elevator shaft. Alright, let's tamper with Gen's machinery and just see what happens here. There it's running. Alright, how are we doing on time? 21 minutes. There's some reading to do here. We'll do the reading in a dedicated episode like usual. This looks like bookmaking equipment. There's a stack of paper, a vise press, and that looks like it might be a binding machine. Stamps. One of these things. And this one just has a notch on the bottom. So let me note this down here. And this must be the missing eye from the one in the jungle. Where's a pen? Alright, got that noted. We'll figure out the numbering system in a later episode. I want to get the exploration largely out of the way before we begin with the thinking part of the game. Alright, and we notice this thing seems to be heating water, and the water wants to move away from the heat, which is unusual behavior for water. And when it cools back down, the water resumes its normal behavior. We'll read that in the next episode. Alright, and here's the shortcut back out to where we were. We'll look at that thing also next. Knife, a missing eye from a thing, paper making equipment, water thing, darts, dart gun, perhaps, kettles, the frog thing. Couple more of them pickled. Grabber, darts. More lighting weirdness. Scissors. This is obviously a workshop. And this is like the things we see in the Starry Expanse. That we put the golf ball in and it gets pneumatic tubed probably back to the big dome on the island. Tusk-based lamps. And a second door. And there's another maglev station here. We're actually going to go out this way, so I'm going to go ahead and call the maglev here and save us a few minutes later on, because this is the way we're going out, not in the next episode, but after we do an episode of Journals. There are some drawers here, and some numbered flower or leaves. 5-pointed sea life, 5-pointed center of this tree, 5-pointed vegetables and other plant parts. This guy might like 5 a little bit. And then there's this moth butterfly thing, which has 5 components, but I think we're going to wrap this up here. We have not made progress on any of our immediate goals this episode, so I'm not going to bring the slide back up, but we'll just go ahead and open future episodes with this and go from there. So tune in next time for the exciting Journal of Gen, and the time after that for when we continue exploring this place. And I will see you then. Thanks for watching.